boost to get you up and running.
Check this out.
Check it out. It's Breakfast with Friends.
Yo, turn it up.
So midweek moment is where we're at right about now, and just thought of just something that I actually experienced the weekend. So while my family and I went through to George the weekend, and one of the activities we did was canoeing. So we did that for a brief moment or two, and yeah, so sorry, sidetracked, interested by something. Anyway, so we managed to do canoeing for a little bit, and something which kind of just caught my attention was the fact that as we left, everybody kind of just left together, right? So we all were leaving together, and we all had a starting point and a final destination, right? And it was the first time that I did it, and it was kind of like a different experience, which was pretty awesome. And something that I was just like thinking of as we went towards the middle of the river, I was like, hey, where's all the people that we started off with? Some of them still way behind, some of them ahead because they used to it and whatever. But as we were like canoeing and going down the river, there were a lot less people. But I know that we were surrounded by people, right? But we all may have started together, and we're all going to end off together, but we all are in a different stream, in this different boat, different streams together. And I was like, so often, I don't know if it's only me that feels this way, but a lot of times, I mean, I know that I'm surrounded by amazing people. I'm very thankful to be blessed with amazing family and friends. And I mean, like just yesterday, just being like, oh, like in awe of all the love and the blessings and the wishes. And I'm like, a lot of times we are surrounded by lots of people, but I feel alone. I don't know if you also have those moments where you feel alone. And I think that was one of the moments while being in this canoe and being in the middle of the river and being all alone, because that's the moment where you're like, all I see is water and trees, and I know if I fall, I don't know if I'm gonna make this one. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, now where are all the people? I am so alone. And it led me back to the verse. Jesus says, I will never leave you, nor will I forsake you. And that's something that sometimes we get so used to saying it. Oh, I'll never leave you, nor will I forsake you. That kind of thing. But do we really believe that He will never leave you, nor will He forsake you? And just going into Easter weekend this weekend, something that I was reading and just thinking of last weekend was, when Jesus says, so in Matthew 27, verse 45 to 46, he says, for 6 whole hours, the Son of God was suspended between heaven and earth. And at the height of his suffering on the cross, he cried out in deep darkness, my God, why have you forsaken me? This is Jesus crying out to his Father, our Father God. And that is the one time in the Bible where Jesus refers to God as God and not my Father. Because he always says, my Father has sent me, or my Father says this or that, or my Father, he always refers to God as my Father. But that specific time on the cross, he says, oh God, why have you forsaken me? And I was like, is this the way, is Jesus, could he also be feeling the way I feel at times where I'm like, hey, I'm surrounded by loads of people, but I am just so alone right now. And but of course, the reassurance of what I always what came back to believe is the fact that at that time, um, he had to say, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" Because of everything that he had on his shoulders. Because everything, the sin of the world, the sin of me, of you, of everything, was all upon Jesus. And our Father, he could not behold that evil. His eyes couldn't see that evil. So if the Father had not turned his back on his Son that very hour, he would now have to turn his back on you and I today. However, because for that time, that period, our God, he could turn his back on his Son because he had you and I in his mind. And that's something that really got me. He would have to turn his back on you today when you call out to him on your hour of need. But because Jesus has taken your place, because that's what he did, that's why we celebrate Easter. He took your place for you and I. And because he took your place for you and I, our Father, he can never turn his back on you because is he's there with you all the time, and God's face is smiling on you always. So right now, God's face is smiling on you, His countenance is shining on you, and I can stand before you and declare, may the Lord make His face shine upon you. And it is all because Jesus has paid the price for you on Calvary, because that's why He can say, I will never leave you, nor will I forsake you. So believe in that. And may this song just encourage you. It's a beautiful song.
I'm alive to